and welcome to What's in Your Wardrobe. Today I've got Bruno Falcone from the House of Falcone down from Brisbane to see some of his clients, and I thought I'd pop in and see what he's up to.
I'm so excited. Now, thank you very much for taking the time to come and see me, because we only met, this is for all of you guys out there, we only met for 5-10 minutes and we clicked. It was like, that's it, we had to do something. So it worked out perfectly. So it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Tell us how you got to be doing these suits and how long have you been doing them? I've got so many questions.
Oh my God, the overwhelming questions. Everything started when, I wasn't a super confident man or kid really. When I was like 15, 14, like a lot of boys, they go through that when they're becoming a man. So for me, there was the confidence that was missing in my life in general. And then sometimes some of these things are due to, your family, your upbringing, and, it wasn't so stable. So that was another factor that contributes. But then there was all of these action heroes that were my heroes growing up. So I was a movie fan. All of the 90s action stars, you name it, I've seen it. And in some of these, they will wear suits, right?
James Bond.
They will look so so good, in control. They would have that sense, I'm in control, I got it, and we're gonna get through this. And there's a few, but there's one in particular that I still remember. It was Will Smith in Bad Boys. He puts on this jacket with a bright pink lining on the inside, right? But it just looked like it has it. It has it all. It's just acting as a cop. It's not a CEO, not a millionaire. It's just a cop, right? But that confidence. And then after that, there was Ricky Martin in the 90s, late 90s, right? When he would perform, he was wearing suits.
Oh, yeah.
At the beginning, especially.
Yeah.
It was wearing suits, at the time, we're talking 25 years ago, nobody knew. For me, it was an idol, thinking, so popular. And then after him, all of the major stars, even Enrique Iglesias. Anyways, there was this thing about Latino men or Italian men or action star heroes where they would wear a suit and they would look that next level. So for me, I was already working as a waiter, and I just went off and bought myself a suit.
Yeah, right.
By myself.
I didn't hear Miami Vice in that.
That's it. That's right. My Miami Vice was Colin Farrell though. Those two Miami Vices, my Miami Vice was from the early 2000s. But literally that's what it was. So I went to the store. I still remember the shop. I don't know if it's still there, but it used to be called Piazza Italia in Florence. And bought my suit. I bought a suit.
Fantastic.
And then I still remember it was one of those Korean collar, because that was at the time, right? The late 90s. It was a little bit longer, all buttons, black, right? So I bought my first suit, and then I took it to my grandmother. That was Estherina, right? She was like, you know what? We need to fix it. She starts putting pins all over. And I was like, don't ruin it. It's my first suit. Bought it by myself. Cost me a lot of money. Because, for a teenager.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It wasn't much. I still remember it was in euros. It would have been 300 euros or something like that. But it was for me a lot of money. Anyway, she's like, no, I'll do it. I promise, I'll fix it, no worries. So anyways, I trust her because, she was absolutely the light in my life. She still is, but she's not with us anymore. She was the light of my life.
Yeah.
And I come back a few days later, and she had the suit done. She did it all by herself, by hand. She tailored all of it. And then I slipped on the suit and I felt like the action here. I felt like an action star. That's how I felt. And then, I want to say the rest is history. I know that we're going to speak a little bit longer. But ever since then, as soon as I felt I had that feeling and I understood the power of, loving yourself and doing something for yourself and putting yourself first to then be of help for more people, then and the power, what made you feel? Then later in the years, like now that I'm a man, like my honest mission to get more men and women out there to feel exactly like I felt when I was 15 years old.
Yeah, that's an amazing story.
Yeah.
I love that story.
I never tell this story, not in this length, like not many people know it, so like this is very dear to me. I know that we had like, I think, we got a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's an amazing story, I love that.
But now I share my story. I need to know your story, because you know, like,
No.
otherwise the balance isn't right. There's no balance.
I reckon that's probably for another podcast, and we just talked about you today.
That's how much she promised. That's how much she promised. No, you gotta give it. Okay, so you know, now you're doing something very interesting, and I can't wait for everyone to know about that. But tell me the moment that you're like, you know what, this is needed.
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a specific.
That's a good question. I actually don't know how it happened. It actually kind of came to me one day, and then I was at a lunch with someone, and he was going, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm doing this." And then I go, "Oh, I'm going to do this podcast called What's in Your Wardrobe," and he's like, "Oh my God, that's fantastic." And then he actually really kicked me into it. Like, Then I spoke to my brother, and he just goes, "Just start making content." And I'm like, wow, it's that simple. I just did. I just started doing it, and I absolutely love it, and I love meeting new people like you. And that's my love of it.
Yeah, but I think like you are really changing a lot of people's perspectives.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that nobody knows, and I was so excited to speak to you about it. It is because both of us will work on the same side of the medal.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people like us. There is a lot in the world, but like we just met. So
yeah, that's
I'm very excited. So, I mean, like the one thing that nobody knows out there is on the spot, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So it's not, it doesn't take ages. You know, it's not like going to the gym. It's like, okay, I need 6 months or a year to like achieve my perfect body weight, and this is and that. It doesn't take that long, right? Like, and it's like you put a little bit of attention, and then everything changes. Tell me a little bit about this, because what change do you see in the people that you touch?
Well, one girl said to me, "Oh my God, I'm going to start a podcast," and I went, wow, that's fantastic. She hadn't thought of that before. She loved the experience so much. And that's one thing I am getting, you know. And another person said, from the minute that you walked in, we had such a great time. We had such a great rapport, and I've had a lot of fun. And when you touch people and they have a great time and they have a lot of fun and they've done something that they would never have thought of doing.
Yeah.
It's actually really satisfying, and that's what I love about it. And you get to know something about their lives, like something that they, even before the cameras start rolling, you know.
Yeah, of course. And I think that's the thing, like when you give a chance and you open up, you get your walls down, that's something that a lot of people out there, they have trouble doing. Like, I think one of the things that I can recognize and I'm helping men and women fixing is within social settings, how do I do it so people talk to me?
Yeah.
How do I do it so I feel more confident and I let down my walls and do what I need to do, right?
Because it is definitely a sharing thing, but it's also making them relax so you know them better, so then you can fulfill their needs better. What I wanted to know was, had you been fashion industry trained?
Yes, of course. So this one goes back to 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago, I was working for Zegna, Ermenegildo Zegna, which is a massive, massive international Italian brand. They're fabric producers. They've been around for more than 100 years.
I've heard of them. Are they head office in Italy?
Yeah. So it's Italy, but then But then they, of course, they're here in Australia. They were in Brisbane at the time. Everything started, the actual search for excellence started there. So the passion for clothes, I always had it. Like 15 years, 16 years old, you know, like all of my friends will come to me and say, hey, like, can we go shopping? There's this thing, or their graduation, or a date, like, you name it. Like that's what it was. It was like, we're graduating, we need to speak to Bruno on what to buy.
It's important for a date too.
That's it. So that was a thing when I was in Italy. So, but I never thought of any more of that more than, oh, you know, like I like fashion, I like it, so like let's go, right? I might add a lot of mistakes, but you know, this is for in a few minutes we'll talk about the mistakes. You know, when like me being professionally trained, they put every person through a lot of training about fabrics, about styles, about color analysis, body analysis, everything. So they are absolutely amazing, and I have to say, I give my thank you to where I am now, literally to that first step that I took in the Zegna store. Now, and because obviously, like I was just a sales assistant, like I started from the very bottom, and they still were there like to support me and train me in all of this. When I had like my formal training within the fashion industry, but like I said, like, you know, the actual passion started from years and years ago. And the thing about like fashion, and I want to hear a little bit of story from you, but the thing about fashion is that you do make mistakes, and you do need to be open to experiment and be playful with yourself, right? So there's a lot of people out there, they almost reject it of putting themselves on a spot where, you know, they might be judged, or they might change. But that same spot can bring them so much. It's like a small bet they could bring so much to their life. And sometimes it's about like a color that you might be used to. So you were talking about my jacket today, and the mulberry, it's a color that it's not common, but then when you see it, you get the comments, compliments.
Yeah.
They put you on display. It's not your classic black, charcoal, blue that everybody wears, and they put you on display. So that's why sometimes the experiences, it really comes in handy. And there's never too late. So like if you never had that, you know, that drive to experiment, you can still do it at any stage, any age, but you just have to be ready for mistakes.
Oh, absolutely. And like in Melbourne, I mean, everyone wears black. So it's a bit boring, really, isn't it?
No, but this is actually, I mean, like the jacket's got like a special style. The one that you're wearing today. It's also about the style. So it's like the colors, but then you need to have a style, right? So, I mean, what has this brought you? Like, you know, the style that you're wearing today, how do you feel? Like, why did you choose it? How do you feel once wearing it?
I actually feel good wearing this kind of style. I actually like, when I do this, I actually like just wearing something a little bit plain, a little bit sedate, because I like it to be about you or somebody's wardrobe or whatever I'm doing. And so for me, it's like, oh, I'm just going to wear that. And plus, it's something I don't really want to think about too much. Like when I'm leaving, I've got to think about, you know, all the cameras and everything like that, and bringing all of those things.
Yeah.
And I just want to be nice and just wear something, because I could wear hot pink, but what's it going to be like on camera? You know, I don't know. And this is always safe. This is just safe.
So this is a shortcut, and it works for men and women, all right? So you gotta check out. So this is the process. You go color analysis, but you know it.
Yeah.
Color analysis, body analysis.
Yeah.
And then lifestyle, right?
Yes.
So those three are the things that make your wardrobe.
That's
right?
perfect.
Now, color analysis, for everyone out there, what you need to do is get a little bit of an analysis of under skin tone, which isn't the color of your skin. So that it can be any race out there. It's the under skin tone. It's the undertone.
Yeah, could be yellow, could be
pink.
Yeah.
Could be any. So you got underskin tone and complexion. So you talk about the hair. For men, it could be like facial hair, or for women, you know, you got the blonde, the reds, or whatever. So you got those colors. That will give you a little bit of an approach and an understanding what colors work well with you. And within those colors, there's always colors that go well together, right?
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, then you got the fit, like your body type. So different bodies that will have different fits that will work well. So that will be for men and women is exactly the same. So the boys will have some issue with the tummy or whatever it is. Sometimes women, it will be maybe the hips or like the legs, or
good legs, or
the top,
bad
bottom.
how,
No.
height.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then the styles out there that work for any body type. You just have to know what style works well with that. And then you got this lifestyle. So in my specific case, because I'm a tailor, obviously I can get you up to speed with a tremendously powerful wardrobe, talking about suits and shirts and power looks and empowered looks, because it doesn't have to be all about power, but there's confidence, there's empowerment. So like all of that makes a big difference. But I think this is one thing that I've been doing so much lately. It is the capsule wardrobe, and then for men and both men and women, that work absolutely wonders, because
I think it's a really great concept, especially if people don't know how to dress.
Yep.
It's perfect, and less time to think about what you need to wear.
That's it.
It's
you just said it. So you know, you don't have time to think about it. You don't know what goes well together. So if you're literally on all the way to the end of that spectrum, when you don't know what goes well and what colors work well, once you have a capsule wardrobe built, which really is, in most cases, you know, 10 items or whatever that might be, then those same 10 items, they'll make up to like more than 40 outfits altogether by the way that you mix in them. So then that is the point. So a capsule wardrobe is a finite amount of items that all go well together. You can literally close your eyes, pick it up from the wardrobe, put it on, and walk out on the street.
I think it's absolutely I think it's the way to go.
Like, I've been in the industry for so long that obviously my capsule wardrobe is a little more sophisticated, right? If you want to call it like that. But at the same time, I mean, like, you really can do it with whatever style you have. Like, you can literally go to your H&M, Zara, whatever, like, and just pick like colors that work well with you and fits that go well with you. And without knowing it, you've been doing it your whole life.
Yeah.
You've just been doing it with things that you used to. And then for a lot of people, whenever it comes that moment to go to the next level, they grow up, but then like in life, you don't spend a tremendous amount of time on everything. So nobody teaches you how to be like an adult.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's literally even that, like when you put your trust in somebody that can guide you through it and be like, okay, this is what you look like. I want to be a man, show me how to be a man. I want to be a confident and powerful woman, show me how to be a confident and powerful woman.
So do you do men and women?
I sure do, yeah. Yes. Yeah. I really don't see limits like between men and women. I don't understand why there should be any. So women out there, they women in business. So they're not women, they are entrepreneurs. They're in business, and they shouldn't feel like put aside, that they shouldn't feel like it's more difficult to show for themselves. It should be, I'm in business, or you know, like I want to be confident, I want to be powerful, I want to be empowered, and they should feel treated the same. So
I love a suit, and I feel great in a suit.
Yeah.
And I think with a suit too, it kind of structures your shoulders, structures your body. Like I'm all for suits.
I think it really depends on the style, but because there will be some styles out there that will make you look even more feminine. There's some women that they dwell in their femininity and in that feminine energy, and that is great. And you can literally even put even more to that feminine energy. And there's some they have like the masculine energy, and that's why I think it really isn't about men and women. It is about this energy,
Yeah.
masculine or feminine. So there's a lot of men out there that might have a more of a feminine energy, and that's when, I mean, and I think I'm one of those. I feel like I put myself in the feminine energy bubble because I like to play with colors. I like to do the pinks. I like to do the whatever color, you name it, yellows. Like colors are very unique and very difficult for a lot of people to deal with, let alone wearing it. For me, like it's fun.
And it would help you too, because if you're dealing with both, it actually helps you to have that more feminine kind of side as well.
That's
because you actually can deal with the women and the males. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I'm a very emotional creature. So like a lot of it is because of my upbringing. So I'm Italian. So then obviously, I mean, there's Italians that are introverted as well. But I am your typical Italian man that you can possibly think of. It's like talking to everyone, so not having any filter. So that for me is very.
You're
I
open.
really like that. Yeah.
Yeah, which I like that too.
How about yourself? In your career and in your life, that you were able to put everybody at ease. In the exchanges, right? Like you talk to them, and you can see that you can create rapport. There's a lot of people out there that struggle a lot with rapport, and I think you really can give a lot of tips out there. So how does that happen for you? Where is the magic?
You have to actually be relaxed in yourself, I think. You just have to kind of center yourself.
Yeah.
And then with that, you have to have an understanding of people, and you do have to be open. So all the things I was just saying that you are, to meet people and to talk to people is exactly how you have to be. Like you've got it.
Yeah, well, I know. I think for me, like one very good tip would be to understand that everyone out there feels exactly like you feel. People don't know. People think they're being judged. Other people think better than they are, whatever it is, right? So
they're making up stories in their head.
Everything changes the moment that you know that they are in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
And all you need to do is the first step.
Yeah.
So
that's
all
true.
you need to do is the first step. Say hi. And this is something that I think I've learned at a very early age. So in Italy, all schools are co-ed. Like all schools are public. Like there's not this system private, but the private, it is for the elite, like the top 5%. Like it's not like here that most people, either private or public, they'll go. So in Italy, I mean, like all of this stuff, like because as little boys and little girls, like you get to interact with each other constantly, I think that's where I got a lot of my feminine energy. Because as a little boy, like I got to understand how to deal with the gentle sex and understand like how things are perceived. They might be taken, sometimes. So then you do it when you're like 10, 12, 13. So then
you're learning about it as you go.
So when you grow up, like it opens up your emotional intelligence a lot. I think, and it was great. So you have to imagine a whole town that has a party about mushrooms. So literally it's called, but it's called Sagra de Food.
They're not on magic mushrooms.
No. It could be anything. It could be literally like Sagra, like the party of strawberries, whatever, right? And then the whole town, like the actual council, organizes dancing, music.
Sounds fantastic.
It's amazing.
What town is this?
Stalls. Any town in Italy, like they will have a party, like usually it's in summer. So any
a festival.
Town, a festival. There you go. But it sounds better like a party of mushrooms. I remember, like I was like 10, 11 or whatever, and then my parents, both of them, they're like, go and talk to that girl, just say hi. And I'm like, but I don't know, like I felt like so insecure. They're like, just go and say hi. It's okay. Go and say hi. Do you want to dance? Because it was like those dances, like you literally have to imagine whatever they portray on TV is real. Like it'll be like people dancing around, like mazurka, whatever. So that's when even my dancing comes along. So like I dance. Anyway, so that's how you learn. So like that person is in your same position. All you need to do is go and say hi. like within
Yeah.
networking, within.
But they taught you actually, like we should all be teaching our kids the same thing actually. Like to go and say hi to people and to do that, because it's such a skill.
And I used it throughout my whole life without knowing there was a skill. It was such an early age. But it's definitely a very good tip, I think, to understand everybody is in the same boat, same journey. Like, you know, when it comes to like networking and professionals getting together, that's a very good thing to know. So then the moment that you do, you just sit down without like us that we're doing right now. We literally, this is after 10 minutes that we met.
Yeah, I know. That's so true.
I was like, I'm gonna be back in Melbourne on this day. Can we make it happen?
Absolutely.
Isn't it good?
And it's so interesting. Like, I just love hearing your story.
Too many stories. Tell me about the the idea behind. So we spoke about the podcast and like what's in your wardrobe. Tell me a little bit more, because I know what you told me and I want to know more.
Well, basically, it started off that I was doing these wardrobe makeovers and going through people's wardrobes, taking out what they didn't need anymore, restyling them, you know, and doing that, because I'd actually been in the clothing industry for, I think, lifetimes, it seems. But in a production, managing, you know, design, that kind of, like, so behind labels scenario. And so, you know, after COVID, I went, I don't really want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, and so I stopped, and then I got given heaps and heaps of fabric, and I started making a lot of things for myself.
Okay.
And falling back in love with the reason that I got in the clothing industry. And so then I went, I should do my own label, because I'd been doing it for everyone else. And then I went, do we really need any more clothes? And I'd been doing it for so long that that part was kind of dead now. And so I was like, what can I do that is still clothing related, that's still part of me, and because it came down from my grandmother as well, actually. She made me, you know, do hand stitching and beading and all of that kind of stuff. And then my mum taught me how to sew on the sewing machine and all of that kind of thing. And then I got into the clothing industry and was just like doing production and, you know, dealing with China and India and all of that. And actually got some denim made in Italy as well. Yeah. So started doing all of that.
Italians are horrible to deal with, aren't they?
Actually, I think it was fine. But it was just time for a change. And I'd been wanting a change for years. And I'd tried to get out of the industry twice by going overseas for 12 months, 2 different times. And I'd get back and someone would go, oh, you're back, come and work for me.
Sharon, what are you doing?
And I'm like, okay, because it was easy, because you needed money.
So after 12 months, you would.
So you just got back in the industry again after trying to get out of it. So it just kept on, it was like it was in my DNA and I couldn't get out of it, basically.
I think, if you ask me, that you kept on going back to it because there's so much more that is giving you. Like, people in general, like as animals, they don't do things they don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I think you have a real gift, and you have really shaped some lives out there. So like, I think that's why you came back.
Ah, interesting. It just seems that I just can't get out of it. Like, it just keeps on drawing me.
You're doing the wardrobes now.
But I have actually, this kind of thing is more in my heart to do, okay. I have to say. Yeah. Like, I am really loving this. So I'm still doing the wardrobes. I'm still doing a little bit of consulting for different companies when they want me to. Yeah. But I've been doing that like pretty much full time since my son was born. Yeah. So I was kind of like wanting to get a bit more out of that. But sometimes if I like what they're saying, then I'll go and help them. Yeah. But
you guys don't understand. Sharon, she's a massive stylist in Melbourne. You don't understand. It's so difficult for me to even mention it. She changed lives, she shaped people, the clothes, the style, like the wardrobe. She's really downplaying it. Like, this is the reality of it, and I'm just lucky to be sitting next to her. So she's good. She's awesome. One of the reasons why I do what I do, it is what I was saying to you before, is that massive change that you see in people whenever you work with them. So I'll give you examples where, you know, like you got somebody, for example, there, it's a little introverted and it feels, you know, like a lot of these guys, like, you know, because they have a little bit more of experience on their shoulders, and they're successful on other parts of their lives. So they might be successful in business or professionally, or, you know, their personal life, whatever it is, like they have success, but they still don't feel like they belong.
Imposter syndrome.
So that's right. So they feel, it's very interesting to see, because obviously, like, you got people that are making real difference in the world and real changes and affecting change, and they still don't feel like they belong to where they are. So the moment that they work together with me, like, the change, it is so fast. It literally only takes the amount of time it takes you to make the clothes and to make the wardrobe, and then the moment that they put those clothes on for the first time, something changes in their eyes whenever they see themselves in the mirror. There's a light, there's something very different that's happening, and it unfolds in front of my eyes. Right? So that is for me a very big reward. And obviously, like, people, whenever they're rewarded, they keep on doing what they do. As a business owner, I know that I should be stepping away from, you know, the mud and the day-to-day.
When you do see that they love what they see and they stand up more, and they look, it is a great reward.
It is. It is. And I mean, it's so instant. That's why I do it. Like, I mean, like, whenever I see that happening, it is just like, it is so hard not to keep on doing it.
Because you're making people happy, which in turn makes you happy. And that's the same as doing this. It's making the person that I'm with, they're having a great time and they feel happy. And then when you leave and they go, oh my God, that was so much fun. It makes me happy, and just comments that you get back and things like that, that's the real thing.
I mean, can you tell me a little bit more about Sharon, though? Because you say that you have the walls down, but you don't. The real difference is whenever you show the beautiful person that you are, because you're so gorgeous. Tell me a little bit more about your journey. So, you know, like, throughout the years, you said, like, back and forth within the clothing industry, but the reality is that what I have in front today is a woman that's accomplished, successful, and you're making people happy. You felt like you couldn't do it, and you felt like that you needed to quit.
Sometimes.
And what did you do when that happened?
When that happens, like, and sometimes it can be every single day. What am I doing? Or like, and a lot of the times I'll reach out to a friend, which is really nice, or I'll reach out to my partner, who is super, like, you're learning, like, a worst case scenario, you're learning something, you're doing something that people love, you're getting really good responses. Just keep going, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And I think what's really important is that you've got those people like that, both in your family and in your close friends, that just keep on going. That support is so important, and hopefully, I hope everyone out there has got that support in at least one person, you know.
I think the support makes a big difference. So even myself, I can tell you that without, you know, the people that shaped me throughout my lifetime, like, I wouldn't be where I am today. But this is for a lot of people out there. My wife in particular, Angela, she's been an absolute rock of support for me. And I wouldn't, like, honestly, I don't think I would have jumped into the entrepreneurial life if it wasn't for her.
How many years have you been doing this for? in your business?
Not long. I started really, I had a soft start 5 years ago, just before COVID. And I call it soft start because I still had one foot on each side. Like I still was working.
Yeah.
But I was doing this like on my spare hours, spare time. I was saying that I was putting all of my efforts in it, and then I wasn't accomplishing much, and I was very hard on myself. I think that I wasn't really committed. So then the real start, I feel that it was about 3 years ago. We literally just finished like a third real year. Why I call it like that is because of the level of commitment is just a different level. Like I live, breathe House of Falcone. I put all of my energy to make the products better, the experiences better, and really like innovate and reimagine the industry, because there's so many problems within the industry, and my thoughts go, how do I make it better, faster, more efficient? So these ones are the things that are in my mind as an entrepreneur. So those ones are like, it's a CEO talk, like the director talk, but obviously the passion fuels the engine. So like the passion, it is that change and the confidence, empowerment, and strength that I see in all of the people that I touch. So that's definitely what drives me. But the support, yes, like I think the support is, I'm so lucky. I feel like really lucky for what Angela has done in my life. But I don't think everybody out there has the support, and I think it's important to notice that although you have support, although you may have support, I really believe that everything starts within.
Yeah.
So for me specifically, there was a moment in my road where I was in my like early 30s, like I was about, 29, 30 or something like that. And I was already in Australia, been living here at the time for like a few years. I don't come from a broken home, but they stay together, but it was very unstable. So I come from an unstable environment, highly volatile. I was blaming everything on the person that I was, on how I was brought up.
Yeah.
Everything. No responsibility on my end. So, I'm this. It's because like everybody else had all of these opportunities and I didn't.
Yeah.
Everyone else had the parents doing this and that. There was a lot of that in my life, and this is real talk. There was a lot of me blaming everything, like the life that I had, the surroundings, and obviously, and I was the hero of my stories. Like, yeah, of course, like I reacted like that, so I'm the hero, because that's what I was taught in the house. It dawned on me, I don't know where it came from, but it was a moment where I said, hang on, how much of who I am today, the reason it is to be given to everybody else, and how much is my fault?
Yeah.
That was the first time in my life that I asked that question to myself. How much is it my fault? How much is it everyone else's fault? And the reality is that day I've taken responsibility. That day I've talked to myself, it was an inner self-talk. Nobody guided me through it. Like, it was a real conversation, and I took responsibility. And the moment that I took responsibility, then everything else came. Like, I felt like I rose from ashes like a phoenix. So like I felt like, and to put in perspective, that moment I was already married. I was owning already my first house.
Yeah.
I had a full-time job. So we're not talking about a moment in my life that I hit rock bottom, and it wasn't. It was a real talk to my own self, and understanding that if I wasn't happy with my life, if I wasn't where I knew I should have been, it wasn't because of everybody else, it was because of me.
Yeah.
My life was a reflection of who I was. And only then, when I realized that, then that was the moment that I decided to be a different man, and probably that is the moment that I decided to be a man. So I was still a boy, and I think I decided to be a man.
Everyone needs to have that talk to themselves, because there's so many people now who don't take any responsibility for anything, basically.
Yeah.
Everything's always, oh, that person looked at me that way, it's their fault. They don't, nobody actually takes responsibility for where they're at or what's going on at all. It's a really good, and look where it's got you.
I mean, for me, and after that was a journey, right? Like, because especially when I started this entrepreneurial journey, it's when I was faced with all of my shortcomings, all of them. And today I still am. And it's so tough. So whenever people, they say, oh my God, like, it's so tough being an entrepreneur. Like, I think only people that they're doing it, they know, because it is literally a reminder every day. What are the things that you're not good at? It's like, here you go, like in your face.
But then you get someone who's really good at that to do that thing that you're not good at.
Oh,
for
sure.
That's one thing about having a business, and what people don't realize is the actual thing. The top people who are good at business, actually half of them don't know that much.
What the business
they know
does.
how to bring good people together. That's their skill. And that whole thing, and they know how to work those people to actually get the best out of them that helps their whole business.
And you're talking about already like a fairly like sizable companies, like even like 5 members or above. But in the world of like the solopreneurs, it's full of them. Like there's so many out there. A lot of people like are really hard on themselves, and I was one of them, and I am probably still today. But the one thing to understand is that you're doing good. I think the one thing that a lot of solopreneurs, they need to tell themselves is that they're doing good. Because being hypercritical of yourself, it doesn't put you in your magical state.
Yes.
It doesn't put you in that energy that makes things happen.
That's so true.
I think throughout the times, I sometimes am on that magical state.
Yep.
And everything works.
Everything, you meet the
and
people
I'm
that you need
busy,
to meet. Yep. Things come to you.
But still works. But there's people out there like they can help you find that magical state and be in that state. But I think parts of it is to do with your own self.
Yeah.
So parts of it, most of it is to do with your own self. And for me, that's why I believe so much into representing yourself in the way that you want to be perceived, because if you don't perceive yourself as that person, why would they?
Yeah, that's right.
Why would everyone around you and see that successful, that strong, that confident person if you don't see yourself like that? So then whenever I do the wardrobe or I work with somebody and we work through it, we make an outfit, suits or whatever it is, and they start looking at themselves in that light. They look at the mirror and they're like, I am. And it's not I want to be. It's not I will be. It's not I should be. They start saying I am. I am successful. I am strong. I am confident. So then this is not like a crazy person talking to themselves in the mirror. It's literally in their eyes.
Yeah.
So then once they're in that state and they feel themselves like that, that's when everything is achievable. I made a joke not too long ago about, the being tipsy, like the state. When you're tipsy, you just do stuff. Like you just go and
say, just open.
Right?
Like
you start dancing on the tables.
I was just thinking the same thing.
You dance on tables, like you go and say hi, you do all of that stuff. Imagine if that tipsy superpower is with you at all times.
Oh, absolutely.
At all times.
Yeah.
It's just like,
how much fun would everybody be having all the time?
Oh my God, I can't believe. Like yourself, like in your own experience, do you see that power of presenting yourself? Like, Have you seen like clients changing?
Oh, absolutely.
Or yourself even?
Yep. I actually had one girl that I did her wardrobe. She hadn't been working for a long time and her kids had grown up, and she got her wardrobe done. And she was probably on the, it doesn't matter what I wear kind of scenario. Anyway, I did the whole wardrobe, and she started understanding, and she started looking at herself going, wow, I actually look good. And she nearly left her husband.
handing divorces over here, Sharon.
She was so confident,
yeah.
and she was so super happy with herself. And I was rapt, like absolutely rapt that I'd been able to give her that confidence back, because especially when you go back into the workforce, there's a lot of people that are younger than you and they're all looking a certain way and you've got no idea how to blend into that.
They're all prepared. They're all ready.
Yeah,
like
totally.
You're late to the party.
Yeah.
Is that for everyone? Like, I mean, like, how accessible is fixing up your wardrobe?
Oh, anybody. And for guys as well.
Right.
Like for both.
Right.
It's, you know, I would love actually to get into some guys and go, don't wear that to your... I can remember going on a date once and this guy rocks up and he had these crummy old shorts on and a pair of thongs, and we went to like...
It wasn't one person.
And I just went...
I hope they didn't have a second date with
No!
this guy. Okay, good.
And then like 2 weeks later he sent me a text and goes, what happened to us? I'm like, what happened to us?
There was no us.
There was no us.
There was no us.
And there's no way I would be going out with you again if you're wearing some crappy old shorts.
The reason that you would do something like that, honestly, like it starts with themselves. They don't love themselves.
Yeah.
They really don't love themselves.
Whether they just don't think or...
Look, whenever somebody asks me that question, right, like how accessible, to be honest with you, there is so much option out there, right?
Yeah.
They're
confused.
It is with you. Like, no, they're confused. But then like the options out there, it's accessible to all levels. Honestly,
absolutely.
I keep on saying to everyone, like, look, you buy a suit from Kmart, come to me, we'll tailor it. You're gonna look like $1 million.
Oh, my son's just started buying suits. He goes to Savers.
Like I said.
He gets one for $10. I actually reshaped one.
I know you would have.
So
shoulders like this.
I love.
Fixed it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he looked amazing.
Yeah.
It was for his school formal.
Yeah.
And
but it's the truth.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
People don't know, like people that are not in our industry, they don't know, right? Like some of the comments I get on TikTok is like, oh, you know, you're rich, right? And
no,
it's like, not at all.
He bought a tux for $10.
That's it.
And it looked amazing.
So I think the idea for everyone to understand is that it isn't about the budget.
Yeah, completely.
Because it really isn't.
No.
It's about understanding, again, your colors,
yeah,
your body shape, and the type of image that you want to put out there.
Yeah.
So it's really understanding those three things. And it's very simple. Like you just have to ask yourself those questions or get a professional to help you out. And it is what colors work well with me.
Yep.
Actually, I'll go back even one step further. What kind of image of myself do I want to put in the wall?
Yes.
Right? This is what I do
personal branding.
That's it. This is what I do with a lot of like very successful people. And they'll come to me, they're like, oh, you know, I got the suits. I got everything. Like you kind of like, I'm doing you a favor to see it. I was like, okay. So let's have a look, right? And it's like, and it's understanding. And when I ask you that question, they don't know. I'm like, what kind of image do you want to put out there?
Because the suits in the suits, if it's a sloppy suit that doesn't fit you properly, or the fabric's crumpy, or it gets every piece of fluff on it.
Yeah, and sometimes like, you know, whenever they just don't get it, right? So colors tell a story. So do you want to be trustworthy? There's a color for that.
Yeah.
Do you want to be powerful? There's another color for that.
Yeah.
Do you want to be, you know, look like there's no walls, open your arms? there's another color. So the colors, they really tell a story, and they tell your story.
Yeah.
And it's so important to understand. So whenever you look at your wardrobe and you're looking at the way that you want to be perceived, colors, they're so massive.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the next thing is your fit. So like you understand like what you've got a body type. Everybody's got their own body type. It's not DNA, it's the gym or whatever it is. You got your body type.
You can look amazing. Doesn't matter what body type you are.
Understand how to make yourself look the best.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, the quick tips, like for boys, there's a lot of like low waist pants out there, right? And I'm like, enough with this low waist
really
pants. I'm
undies showing lately.
I'm like, enough. Like that was like from 2000, like, you know, early 2000.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was on that train. I was like, I had low waisted pants, you know, like the 50 Cent look, like perfect. But now it's 2024. And you're also 24 years older. Yes. You gotta change it. But anyway, so sometimes like, you know, the low waisted pants is one of those things that they make your tummy look bigger.
Yeah.
So whenever you are 18 and you got your low waisted pants and you got the abs to show for,
yep.
Perfect. But you know, like you're 35, you're 30, you're 40, low waisted pants is not the way to go.
No,
that's
completely.
it. And then you know, like the shirts, like pulling, right? So again, you are 18 years old, you're muscly, you're fit. The buttons pulled because of the muscles. Not because not because you don't fit in the shirt. It's because like you look good and you're like, oh yeah, but the buttons pull.
Yeah.
But now if they pull, like, it's clearly the wrong size.
Oh, completely.
Right?
Yeah.
And so you know, like you got all of this stuff, and then the other thing that it's an all timer is the length on the pants.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
I got, for everyone out there, if you are a short king or a short queen, having a pair of trousers or pair of pants that are very long on you, they have all of that bulk on the bottom, it just makes you look shorter.
Yes.
It is
true.
what it is. It makes you look shorter. So I understand that you're used to seeing yourself in that light and you're used to that fit. But the idea of the actual bulk on the end is really just an understanding of what the eye is attracted to when they look at you. And if you have a bunch of fabric on the bottom, it just looks like you're very short, so the pants were too long. And vice versa for the tall guy. So the tall guy should not have a short pair of trousers.
Have you seen this thing that a lot of guys are wearing, like a suit that seems to be like 2 sizes too small?
Oh,
like
yeah.
the whole suit.
Oh yeah.
The skinny pants and they're like too cropped.
Yeah.
And then everything's just too
super
small.
tight. Now, and I get it. I understand that because they see Ryan Reynolds wearing those suits.
That's
but you are
different
not
story.
Ryan Reynolds.
Absolutely.
I mean, I understand. Like the guy's a movie star. You know, like they'll see Ryan Reynolds. They'll see like all of the Ryans or all of the all of the Chris's out there.
Yeah.
So like they're super hot. Like the life is devoted to have that
Their body. Yeah.
So then you want to show it off, and that's great.
Yeah.
But also, that's one part. And then the other thing that people don't know is that most of the times whenever these people go to the shows or the interviews, they will have some outfit waiting for them at the studio, and maybe like they just got the wrong size on. Like, you know, they like better go tighter than too big, right?
Hey, how's actually Beckham's wardrobe? Have you seen?
I did see it.
I
was
loved how good
that was mind blowing.
He took his clothes out that he was wearing for the week. He knew exactly what. Well,
no way that he
like
put
his
it.
Capsule wardrobe.
That's it. I loved it. So anybody that don't know what we're talking about, it was like the Beckham series.
Yeah.
He showed in a part of that episode that a rack with all of his clothes for the week.
Yeah.
And he was like, "This is what I'm gonna wear this week." And
that is basically what a Capsule wardrobe is like.
Correct. But for us mortals, you can recreate the same wardrobe, but it's like the same throughout the year. He would have one of those racks each week of the year.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
But for everyone else, like
I
it'll
wonder
be
if
the
he
one
really does it himself or he
No
gets
way.
someone to choose it himself.
No way. Like
I reckon he
I
gets
knew that
someone to choose
I know
it.
that you were about to say it. I was like, no way. Like he was like, and I fold this about. I was like,
I don't think so.
no way.
Yeah,
no
someone
way.
comes in and does
It was
that.
literally like presented like it would be on a shop,
Yeah.
in a luxury store.
Yeah.
It was like no way. No,
I'd
no
love
way.
to get into his wardrobe.
No way. It looked
Oh
cool.
my
It
God.
looked very cool. Like it really boils down to that question. It's like what kind of image you want to put out there. And then once you know it, like what do you want to be perceived as powerful? For example, I feel like so blessed. I've been working recently with a few celebrities, but the one man that comes to mind, it'll be JT Fox, and he's about power. He's about commanding the room. And I mean, you'll be surprised, like if you go in his formal wardrobe, the colors are the colors that they are. It's a navy with a little bit of something, but it's a navy. So there's 7 suits, and there's 7 suits that are like dark blue. Some of them, they will have like a little interest, like a little red stripe, a little something through the fabric, a little pattern, whatever it is, that's not him specifically, but it is 7 suits, they're all navy, they're all dark, charcoal, navy, whatever. The shirts, they're all white, they're all baby blue, and it is what it is, because that's the image of power in business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So then you really got to know yourself. Like you need to understand what kind of person I am,
And
what
this
kind
works
of
for
image.
him. Like that's his thing, and
Well,
that's
Yeah,
his signature, basically.
that's right. For example, like I told you before, like I dwell within my feminine energy. What is for me?
The thing,
I like to, I like to mix and match. I like to experiment. There's a very popular picture on my socials. I'm wearing a pair of dark green trousers and a beige jacket. It's like green, beige, I don't know, and it works.
Yeah.
But then it works for me, right?
Yeah.
Or then today, like I'm not wearing a matching outfit. I got burgundy shoes on. I got the socks with the, what's it called?
Oh yeah.
It's an art piece.
What's her name? Yeah.
It's Venus, Botticelli's Venus. Then I got like the brown, chocolate brown trousers, blue, burgundy. In your head, it's like, well,
But it actually works.
It can't possibly work.
But
And then it does, right? But this is an experiment. Like,
But it's good to experiment with your clothes.
I know.
And
That's
get them out and do that every so often. Have a little dress up, and you'll go, "Oh, I didn't realize that worked with that."
My wife and I, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Like every now and then she'll come up, what do you think? Too crazy? I'm like, just try it. Go for it. And then sometimes there'll be something crazy and I would say it. But then we got an understanding. Men out there, do not comment on your wife outfit when she's about to leave the house.
No.
But me and
it's
Angela,
not safe. It's actually not safe.
Angela and I, we got an understanding. So she actually comes for the feedback, and I'll be like, that works. I would say like that works. Maybe just change the top, or just do this, or just like zhuzh it up a little bit. But through the years, it's a process. Like now it's okay. 15 years ago, not so much.
Yeah. And you've got to just test the waters too. Some days it might be okay, and some days it might not.
Yeah.
What did you mean?
No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't.
Anything. No, it's fine.
But out of the two, I am the one, the high maintenance one. I'm like, I'm gonna change the whole outfit now. This doesn't work. I'm that person. But no, it's so funny. So like for anyone out there, they're just like, once they know what kind of image, what kind of brand they want to have, that makes things a lot more easier.
Yeah.
Because then there's colors that go with that brand, there's fits that go with that brand. And going back to, is this accessible to everyone? It truly is.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
Accessibility is there. Like you just have to, once you know all of that, you can shop Big W, you can shop anywhere, or you can shop at Louis Vuitton. Like once you know, it's not about where you shop and the ticket price of that item. Is literally just like finding the pieces for the wardrobe.
Yeah.
So it's not emotional, and that's the things that we do. Is like it's not about an emotional choice. They go into the shop and it's like, oh my god, I love this shirt with the birds. So it's not about that. It's about, let's plan out your wardrobe in the way that it's supposed to be looking, and then you have those emotional choices.
Because it's funny too, your personality will allow you to wear certain things.
Of course.
Like, I love it when I've got a friend who's got big, bold jewelry.
Yeah.
She's always like got something amazing on and kind of really colourful and a bit over the top. If I wore that, I'd look crazy.
Yeah.
She looks amazing
Yeah.
in that, you know, and so it's because her personality
Yeah.
actually allows for that.
Yeah, and also once, you know, you're professional, the ones that's helping you out. So like once you get to know me, for example, and we do this thing together, that personality will come through.
Right.
Express yourself. It's a bit, so a lot of people that think, oh, you know, like you're gonna make me look a certain way. But really the power of the stylist is really just to exploit and to really bring out as much as possible that personality.
Absolutely. And like that's the same with me. Like, I'm not going to go, oh, we need to throw all this stuff out of your wardrobe that you might like.
Yeah.
It's about, okay, I've got her trying or him trying everything on at the same time. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that would actually look great if it was 10 centimeters shorter or,
Yeah.
you know, or this, and tweaking it so that every piece of clothing that they love, you know, why don't you wear that? Let's change it so you can wear it because you bought it because you liked it.
Exactly.
And just working it so that they can use it and wear it.
And I mean, like, and what does that do, like, literally to their confidence? You know,
Yeah.
the moment that they,
Absolutely.
what does
And
that
it's
do?
also about spending less money because you've got the items there in some
You just have to
cases.
fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that you got a little bit more of an understanding of what we do actually.
Yeah.
Like, it's really interesting to see that you know, we both are within the same industry, but we do different things. Obviously, like I have my own brand, the House of Falcone, and that's what we devote ourselves to. But we're going in the same direction.
Yeah, that's right.
Like the
It's to
direction
helping
is the
people.
same. It's really the same. It so is. So for me, like whenever, you know, styles and colors and fit, like my eyes lit up. So because
Yeah.
I'm like, I can help you out. Let's do it, right?
Yeah.
And then if you decide to do it with me, obviously, like the cool thing about it is those levels, right? Even within my own range, like Hugo Boss, or like there's all of the different ranges. So I can literally help anybody, even from your entry level pieces. But like I said, speak to a stylist and go shop your budget. Because I think
Absolutely.
it's so important that you don't overextend yourself. I think it's one of those
Well, that's
things.
stressful for your budget too, and you don't want to be stressed after this at all.
I had people in the past where they clearly overextended themselves, and it was just too much for them to handle.
That's
It's
what,
a bit much, you know, like, and they're very worried, they're very stressed. Like, it's not the right mindset. Instead, knowing that with the experience now, like I would probably advise for like another spot, right? Like I was saying, you know, there's all of these options out there, but you should shop for this and that. Done.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
And that's something that I've been starting to do, like even within my business. You can actually book in a style consultation.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
So in the style consultation, this is literally what it is. It's like we'll go through color analysis, body shape analysis, and lifestyle. So the three things will give us a little bit of an insight on what people should be wearing, like the person that I'm talking to should be wearing. And then that's the plan, and that's the advice is there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, obviously if they want to work with me, there will be all the steps, but that's what I've been starting to do because it's a lot, and I had like a tremendous response because I think a lot of people that were like just worried, and then once you just give the advice, everybody's like, "Yep, sign me up."
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for today.
You still left me like I wanted to know more, and Sharon was just like, "I won't tell you anything. I won't tell you."
I wanted to hear about you. Thank you so much.
No, it's been
That's
awesome.
Fantastic.
If somebody wanted to, because I know that you answer all of your DMs, because I mean you answer mine, but I'm sure that you answer everyone else.
No, I do.
If
yeah.
somebody wants to get in touch with you, where would they find you? On Instagram, Facebook?
Instagram definitely at _what's in your wardrobe. and email Sharon at what'sinyourwardrobe.com.
Yeah.
Both of those places, I'm pretty much on all over everything. So
You're good. You're good. Same with me.
Yeah.
For me, it is House of Falcone. So, but
it will be actually in the description of this video.
It's house like a house of Falcone, Falcone, and then or it's Bruno Falcone as well. That will be my personal one, and then yes, the website houseoffalcone.com.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to reach out. We answer all of the DMs. There might be a chance that some DMs are answered by my wife, but you get us all, both Angela and Bruno Falcone at the same time.
That is fantastic. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
You've been absolutely awesome.
Absolutely fantastic.
And just for everyone, just like I want you to tell me House of Falcone in your most Italian accent. Go for it.
Thank you so much, Bruno.